firstborn, we had like at 37 weeks, Katie had like a really strong Braxton Hicks, and we thought she'd had some already, and we thought it's here, we're going, and we were in hospital for like a few hours, and they sent us home. So that was like 3 weeks early, and then Athena, my firstborn, was 2 weeks late. So we were 5 weeks. We were like, is it coming? Is it coming? Is it coming? Is this it? Is this it for 5 weeks? But like, I look back and like every pregnancy now, I've got less and less, like, not anxious, but like apprehensive about when's it coming? When's it coming? I'm like, cool, yeah, it'll come. And then this one, obviously, we were in hospital 3 days after having an induction, and then Christmas Day, baby. So that was fun. But yeah, I'm glad she's doing well. I saw your video yesterday of you getting strapped up with a ball.
So we do something at the gym called Social Saturday, and it works on a 2-week rotation. And it's exactly as it sounds. It's a slightly longer class. We do some weightlifting, we do a longer workout, and then we hang around and drink coffee afterwards. And I was kind of looking at Adele, and I was like, you're probably still going to be pregnant in 2 weeks, but we're probably not going to be throwing down on Social Saturday. Let's do the pregnancy workout today. To which there's a couple of my coaches have recently had kids. So as soon as I sort of, when you mention something and then they all just jump on it, they're like, yeah, I'll get the slam ball, I'll get the cling film, let's get you taped up. I'm like,
yeah, amazing.
It was good crack.
What weight ball did you use?
I used the 10. I should have used the 12 because Adele's put 12 kilo on.
Yeah.
But the like big med balls would have been, I mean, maybe it would have been fairer. It would have been even harder to. Yeah. The first thing I said to her was like, "Man, it's so hard picking everything up from the floor." She was like,
yeah.
It was good. It was good fun.
Yeah, awesome, good stuff. Yeah, we did a similar thing, firstborn. But no, cool. I'm glad everything's kind of running smoothly. But you're in that golden era now, that golden sort of final stretch bit, which is always fun.
Yeah.
So you've coached this morning, couple of hours. What was the workout?
We had 4x10 back squats, 65%, and then we're sprinkling in like a superset of some explosive movements. So I had some of them doing high box jumps, some of them just doing vertical leaps, some of them just doing kettlebell swings, depending on where they were and their experience. And then we went 5 rounds, minute on, minute off, bike into wall balls, max reps.
Ooh.
Yeah, stinger. Ooh. But a good chance ahead of Friday. So pair them up so they could judge each other, like go over wall ball standards. A good chance to just start sprinkling that in throughout the week, which I think will make things a bit easier on Friday.
There's a general sort of leaning or a consensus that wall balls will probably be involved on 0.1, isn't there? Like generally everyone's a bit like, oh, we reckon wall balls, but
my money's on devil press, controversially. New movement, dumbbell, fairly accessible, fairly easy to judge. I think we could see, if it's not a straight, I'd love a task orientated workout, like for time, because I think that's classic. You don't get that in the open very often because of leaderboard bunching. So maybe something with, when you do like windows and you buy another 4 minutes, I think that's a way of making it task orientated, but with a set time domain, if that makes sense. So maybe something like that.
Yeah, we the last one of note that I can remember that was a real differentiator was the wall walk double under snatch workout from a couple of years ago.
24.3. I'm going to take a stab on.
Sounds about right. And but whatever you want to call it, gatekeeper or windows or qualifiers or whatever terminology people use. But there was, I don't know if you've kept up with Dave's like hints and videos and stuff like that over the last sort of few months, but one of the ones he said is, how hard are you willing to go for, like to continue or to carry on? There was terminology. So I think you're right. I think one of those kind of workouts would be pretty cool. And also, what better way to ramp up the intensity on week one with a low skill base let's call it grunt workout, where you're gonna have to push to qualify for that next window and that next window. And I love the idea of devil's press. And Dave did say something on the lines of, someone asked him if there was going to be any new movements, and he said new movements to the open, yeah, but not to people in the boxes.
Yeah.
And let's face it, devil's press has been a staple in CrossFit gyms for, you know, quite a while now.
Yeah.
So
I think it's probably a missing one, you know, when you look back at past movements.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know what it's like. Members run around and they were chatting about it post, like, going to be this, and you're like, it's not going to be that. That's really hard to judge, you know.
Yeah.
We're probably never going to get a normal burpee, because it's harder to judge than a burpee with reach or a burpee over bar or a box or something like that.
Yeah. And it's
someone said she read somewhere that there was someone put some timelines out or something.
Yeah. So be on the whiteboard, accidentally put like a session plan for Friday for their open thing, and they allowed a 10-minute window for the workout, and then there was a cool down and waves and stuff like that, and then they redacted the workout, so it was only on for like an hour or something, and then they've removed it. So someone said it's like a 10-minute workout or something, but I can't see it being a 10-minute workout on week 1. Right, but I mean,
No.
could be wrong.
I also know, so in my head, the guys who write cap have said they'll get the workout up within an hour of it being announced. So if the guys who write cap into the affiliate portal for affiliates to copy the program in and the class plans, if the guys at cap don't know anything about the workout yet, no other program provider is going to know anything about the workout, because you're going to tell in-house before you tell anyone else. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that makes sense. That would be pretty cool, because I mean, we all talk about the open, obviously, and the planning from an affiliate perspective, because we have the pleasure of you and Andy both, and Ollie, obviously, for Europe, all 3 of you affiliate owners, which is in a massive bonus anyway. But the fact that you guys all kind of think about the open as a priority, as a linchpin, as a real pivotal point and a community builder within our gyms, and then you 3 guys are leading the charge and showing us how it's done is a real cool kind of display of what we should be doing and the values that we should be kind of setting. Because if you guys can do it on top of the fact that you've already got, you know, other jobs within CrossFit, it does go to show that it should be a priority for people. So obviously, like, the open that we talk about, it's a really cool concept that in my mind is completely unique. It's the biggest mass participation event on earth in any sport, which is that's a stat in itself.
Yeah,
like it's pretty cool, isn't it, for something that's only been around for, you know, CrossFit 20 years, like writing workouts, but the open, you know, as a concept since 2011, I think it was the first one.
So this year's 2011 for the open. This year's 20 years of the games this year.
Pretty cool event, isn't it? Yeah. And I've got Abby coming on Sunday, Abby Jones. She was at the Adaptive Games in Las Vegas last year. We were talking about like the adaptations to be made and what the open means to her and everything like that. We've got Farron coming on Thursday about coaching, and about, she's put a lot of content out recently about the difference between there's exceptions that prove the rule, and the open is an exception for us as coaches and as staff, to allow freedom for our members to try shit, to go RX, to do differently, to not have to scale, to not have to adapt for where they're at, because they get standards set that they have to meet. And otherwise, all year round, we adapt it. We make sure that people are meeting the stimulus. But for this one, well, 3, but call it 1, this one occasion every year, the members get licensed to just hit or try something and go for it and set standards for the rest of the year and see what they're capable of doing. And what I love about the Open is it's not single mode. It's so diverse and multifaceted for different groups of people. The fact that we got Wheelwad adapting it for like 10 different divisions of like adaptive athletes and stuff like that. It's a really, really cool concept. And then you think about the just sheer mass of people that are participating in this thing. It's nuts how all of a sudden there's so many people doing this. And imagine if you could bottle up all the apprehension from around the world about one, let's call it 20 top minute workout, right? A 20-minute window over the course of 1 week in the year. The amount of apprehension around 20-minute window from that amount of people is nuts.
Yeah.
The fact that many people care about a 20-minute workout, you will not get that anywhere else in anything. And it's so cool that we get to do that as part of basically a GPP S&C methodology that we use to transform lives. It's this really cool concept that I don't think people really have nailed down what it means to them yet.
Yeah, 100%. I think we all refer to the Open as CrossFit Christmas.
Yes.
Like we spend all this time looking forward to it, and then there's that apprehension, like you mentioned. It's the best time of the year, and I think it's as an affiliate owner, it's always been big for us. This year's the biggest we've ever gone and pushed it, and that's because maybe like self-reflection of like it means so much to me, and I enjoy it so much that I don't want my members to miss out on it. So I need to handhold them until they've experienced it for the first time, so that next year will be even. And that's where Glasgow Method, Black Edition, they get these massive signups because it's grown, and there's so many people going like, "Oh man, it's fantastic! Sign up, sign up, sign up." For newer gyms, kind of the leaders have to do that a little bit, if it makes sense. It's the best time of the year, like you say. Like you can sit there and go, "Yeah, thousands of people have done that workout tonight. I've shared that experience with thousands and thousands of people. It's awesome."
And I think I'm right in saying the top 4 here are in the top 10 in the world. I think Europe have got 6 out of 10 of the highest signups for the Open. And 4 of those 6 are in the UK. Which and again, you look at that, and on the surface it's like great, and then you go deeper and you think what work has gone in to making sure that we have got 4 of the top 10 affiliates worldwide as the highest signups across the globe for this event. You think of all the work, you think of what Pedro's doing with all the sponsors, and then the gyms that are putting in the hard work, and then all the owners and the coaches that are putting in the hard work, and then the actual members that are laying it on the line and signing up and going through that. It's such a good testament to the type of the scene that we've got going on in the UK. We've got this really cool wave going through over the last sort of year, 18 months. And, I don't want to blow smoke too much, but it is quite literally the last 18 months. There's been this new wave of like enthusiasm, and put it down to what you want, but it just coincides with the fact that you and Andy have been on it and pushing it for the last 18 months. So I don't think that's coincidental. And the fact that I think Tyler and Spin put up a thing last week about the people that have done all 16 of the Opens. There's a list, and Andy's on there. Which is pretty cool. Like, he's one of those people that have done all 16 Opens through thick and thin, through whatever's happened in his life. Every year for 16 years, he's signed up for the Open, which is a really cool testament. And I think it's showing about what we've got, and who's leading the way for it.
I think me and Andy talk about it a lot, and you've spoken to both of us, and you probably know that we can fill 2 to 3 hours with just rabbiting about CrossFit because we're passionate about it. But I think for both of us, we have both experienced how CrossFit has changed our lives. And for both of us, a real motivation is to get as many people to be able to experience that life-changing thing as well. So it's not it's not holding the thing that's done us good close to our chest. We want to try and spread it as far as we can. And what we can see over the last 18 months is that things like the Open, things like successful affiliation, like that top list of 5 gyms there, I know for a fact that everybody in that list does the classes at their affiliate 3 to 5 times a week. And that's a massive, massive thing for running a successful affiliate, but also promoting the Open and making sure that your members sign up. There isn't anyone in there that's on a super secret sauce program that's doing it in the corner when the gym's closed. They're in their 6 p.m. class with their members and their coaches. And I think that's a really cool thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. And like, I'll put a positive spin on this rather than looking at the other end of the spectrum. You're right. The people that are leading the way, the people that are involved, the people that are continuing to practice what they preach, and be part of that group and not do things differently, and are willing to get involved and be held to the same standard and account as the members that they're telling this message is the one, gold standard. It's no surprise that they are the gyms that flourish and do really well. And the gyms that don't necessarily have that level of leadership or camaraderie, they're the ones that don't necessarily see the highest turnout for the Open. And there's probably a reason for that. But like I said, we've got so many incredible affiliates and gyms in this let's call it a country, in this country. So we should be damn proud of that. And I had a conversation briefly last night with an American guy who was saying about the Open and about, HQ, and making a couple of not negative comments, just sort of constructive ones. And I couldn't help but say, like, that's completely like opposite of what we experience over here at the moment. We're on this, we're riding this wave of just full on positivity around the affiliates. We're growing, we're getting bigger numbers. The Open's looking great. We've got 4 of the top 10, which is a massive indicator. I don't care who says what. If you've got giant signups at your affiliates for the Open, which is to me CrossFit, like the Open is like the single indicator of the health of the affiliates in a country for me, because that means that there's been loads of steps leading up to that. You don't coincidentally just get 48, I know it's Europe, but 48,000 people signing up for the Open. That isn't coincidental. That's happened for a reason, because people, 1, believe in this methodology, but 2, are being taught to believe this methodology. And where do they get taught that? From the affiliate owners and from the reps and from HQ, and they're absorbing that information, and it's not coincidental that that's the case, which is pretty cool. So I had a look on the affiliate toolkit the last few weeks for the Open resources, and now you'll have to pardon my ignorance. I wasn't privy to the toolkit the last couple of years. How does the toolkit compare this year to that it has done the last couple of years? So the resources and the tools and the links to Canva and all the images and videos, how does that compare to the last few years?
If you wind the clock back 3 years ago, there was nothing. Last year we did have some resources, and last year we had some calls as well, like roundtable calls of like how to run the Open. This year, everything you need to run the Open is in the toolkit. So if you're an affiliate owner and you've not dived into the toolkit yet, you've missed out on, from I think November or December last year, the ability to have plans on how to run the Open. So I think if you go down a little bit further, somewhere around here, so we can see the Jan 14th to 31st, the Feb to March Open plans. So they literally lay out, on this date, do this step, on this date, do this step. And that's before we even go into marketing plans. So not only resources like the Canva templates that you can customize, but actual plans like post this on Monday, post this on Tuesday, post this on Wednesday. Then we go into the assets. Like if I get on a call and an affiliate owner says to me like, CrossFit's not doing any marketing for me, I'm like, go on the toolkit. There's 30, 40 different posts and they're constantly getting updated. And that's before you even take into the account that CrossFit made everyone individual videos this year. So, you know, they made, not a lot of people realize this because they've only seen it in their region. But have you noticed that some of the content coming out from CrossFit in the UK and on the CrossFit in UK and Ireland Instagram page is with someone with a British accent? Because that's been localized worldwide now. That's the first time that's ever happened. And not only that, we can take that video and put your affiliate logo on it for you as well. So you're getting customized content made for you from CrossFit. There's never been more in the toolkit than there is this year.
No. And I love that, because that is listening to feedback. That is listening to the affiliates the last year or so. That is taking on board and putting in the extra effort and going above and beyond what they've done the last few years that they've ever done. And it's all out there. And the way that I like to think about this is I always try to do this as much as I can, is to kind of draw similes or metaphors, whatever one it is. I was rubbish at English. To coach in a class and being a member at a gym. So if the affiliate owner puts themselves as the member at the gym, you can ask for the help, you can ask for programming, you can ask to be coached. But at the end of the day, you've got to show up and you've got to put the effort in to actually moving and doing the work in the gym. It won't just be given to you. You don't just get kudos, or you don't get fitter just by showing up. Showing up's brilliant. Showing up and being part of that tribe is exactly what we're after. Fair play. But you do have to meet the coach halfway and put in the effort to match the standard that you're expecting to get out of being a member and getting elite fitness in the gym. So when you are an affiliate owner, now we've got all these tools, we've got all these resources, we have got the links, we've got the programming, we've got the effort, we've got the coaching from you guys, we've got everything set up. But that effort is still required for you to get that fitness there. I.e. to get the marketing done, to get the open plans done, to get everything done. It's all there waiting. It's meeting in the middle a little bit. And as you've said in both of the videos that we've recorded and put out, your email and Instagram account have always been there, are always open for people to communicate, ask questions. And so far, from what I've seen, it's been a really good uptake. You've like you've alluded to, you've got the WhatsApp group. You've got roundtables, which the recording last week came straight off of one with Andy, talking about coaching development, which was a really cool video to listen to, by the way. If anyone hasn't listened to that, please hop on and listen. It's 37 minutes, but it's gold. But all the information's out there, all the tools are there to use, but the work has to be done. So it's a great time to be an affiliate owner now. It's a really, really cool time to be a CrossFit affiliate owner. But yeah, so
I think there's so many resources in that toolkit. And I also think if you're an affiliate owner, just zoom out a little bit and look at the changes that have happened this year and think back to some of the feedback that you gave CrossFit HQ at the end of the 24 and the 25 season. So if we wound that clock back, I don't want to pay for judges' courses. Okay, it's free for affiliate owners this year. If you don't need it, you can use that code for someone else. I want the return of quarterfinals. Cool, quarterfinals are back. Like, there's so many things that people requested last year that the sport team have done this year. I think it shouldn't be underestimated how much HQ is listening to feedback. And that's quite important, I think.
Perfectly put. And also, again, I draw to that metaphor of being a member at a gym. If you give feedback to your coach or your affiliate owner, it doesn't fall on deaf ears. The affiliate owner will implement change, but when they're ready and when they can do that, but they are listening. Yeah. And also, as a member, when you do see that change that you asked for, it's worth realizing that now you've got to do the work. Now you've got to meet them where you said you would meet them. Because, I, for one, have been someone over the last decade who has said HQ needs more presence regionally. So, each of the regions need to be represented more or, and shown. The fact that we're on the route to that is amazing. It's such a positive kind of step that's being taken. Will it probably progress even further? Sure, it probably will do. I'd love to see it progress even further, but what that looks like, don't know. But I'm not going to start holding people to account saying, I want it to be represented better. And then when they say, what do you mean? I'll go, don't really know. Like, you know, it's addition. But the other thing that I try and tell my kids is enjoy what you're doing at the time. Like, have you got, you know, have we gone for fish and chips? Yeah, cool. Right. If you're sat eating your fish and chips, don't then think about what's for pudding. Like, enjoy it, like make use of what you're doing right now, because you know you've asked for this, and it's a great tool to use. So then a bit of a tangent there. So let's draw it back then. So coming back to you as an affiliate owner.
Yeah.
The week ahead. So from today till Thursday, it's 8 p.m., isn't it? On Thursday, that it's our time that we get launched.
Yeah.
Which is so
12
much better than
12 p.m. Pacific, so 8 p.m. our time. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is so much better than 2 a.m. our time, like it used to be. That was fun back in the day. But yeah, so from like this week, like I know earlier you said about the bike and wall ball workout, which is it's a very familiar workout. I think a lot of CrossFit affiliate owners realize, or programmers realize, that you can get a lot of bang for your buck with echo sprints and wall balls.
Yeah.
What does this week look like for you as an affiliate owner? Like, are there any last minute changes? Do you feel like there's any tweaks that you're making? Like, how's your coaching blocks, like your timetable? Does that change around the Open? Does the timetable change much for you?
So Monday to Thursday, business as usual. We will decrease the volume as the week goes down. So we don't want people feeling beaten up and sore on Friday morning. So we would do our last intensity touches yesterday and today. So yesterday we went skipping, knees to elbow, burpees to reach. Again, very classic open movements. Today we'll go wall balls and bike sprints, again, just ramping up that intensity. But the next 2 days we'll kind of start dialing it back a little bit. So it's a little bit, people are a little bit fresher come Friday. Then Thursday night, we will, so my timetable is currently clear for Friday. I've not got anything in there. Still got my classes in at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 9:30 and 12. And then as soon as I find out what the workout is, we'll decide how long we want the heats to be. 10-minute workout, 15-minute heat. So we've got some transition time. I'll then drop them into my timetable for the members to book for Friday night. I'll also do that for Sunday, because we're going to run the Open Friday night and Sunday for anyone who can't make Friday this year. There'll be a trip to the stationery shop today, probably. Masking tape, lots of it. Every year we lose the clipboards. Every year I buy 20 clipboards and they go missing. The pens I'll buy and then they'll stay in my pocket till Friday, because otherwise they'll go missing. What else we got to do? Printing to get our scorecards printed off. So we run an intramural Open here. So I want to have all of my points for the intramural Open on my scorecard as well. We've put up, I did an art project this year. So I've made a big, use the Open graphics from the toolkit and made a big board for people to stand in front of, so their photos being taken. And then we're going to put little Instax photos up of the Open everywhere. So I've got those boards to finish. We've got those to buy. Film some videos about standards. So we did that yesterday. This is what a squat looks like. This is what a power clean looks like. We'll probably do a flow video, if reminding people things like, there's 150 of you doing the Open here. Please don't bring 3 backpacks with you on Friday. Try and bring the smallest amount of kit you need, because otherwise we'll run out of space. Then I only found this out this morning, but Cap is going to put a kids version of the Open in this year.
Really? Oh, amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, I only found that out this morning. So it's an unofficial variation of the Open workout. So that will go on to Cap on Friday. So I'm going to email all our parents and say, like, hey, kids class on Friday and Saturday going to do the Open as well. That's all the stuff that's at the forefront of my mind. Got to arrange a DJ, finish the food order, make sure the Nocco's in the fridge.
Oh yeah, can't forget them. There's a new flavour as well. The orange focus. I can't remember
something or other. Stella, I thought.
Yeah, it's Stella. That's it. Stella. Yeah, it looks good. I didn't know if it's named after Miss Bartram. But yeah, so the thing that always used to get me is there would be this, you know, you talk about Christmas, it would be the build up to Christmas Day. But then I would remember I've got 4 more weeks of this. So I get like, I've got like a 5-week Christmas with a little bit, the time between Christmas and New Year. Like it always feels like that between Sunday and Thursday now. Like that Sunday to Thursday, it feels a little bit like that week between Christmas and New Year. As an affiliate owner, have you ever thought about how you revert back people from being on that high from the first like workout and then bring them back? Because you don't have a lot of time to bring people back down to reality. Do you bring them back down to reality for a few days? Do you do like a 3-week cycle of the same pattern? Or do you treat each week differently? What have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, so what we've done this year, and it's the first time we've done it actually, we've gone with a slightly more structured strength cycle on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we've got a squat today, tomorrow's an upper push, and we had a deadlift on Monday. The idea being that we're going to keep that fairly consistent for the next 3 weeks or 4 weeks in total. So after Friday Night Lights finishes, they kind of got a little bit more of a routine than they would do normally for that exact reason, to try and give them a little bit more structure to those 3 days. And then it's back to the open, because we know we're going to touch intensity. We know we're going to get heart rate sorted out. So yeah, we're trialing that this year to see how it goes.
So regular programming throughout the year, obviously taking into account macro and micro cycles and meso. How often year round do you hit intensity in terms of like higher heart rate throughout a 7-day cycle? So from Monday to Sunday, how often are you getting members to hit that higher heart rate and that intensity each week, like generally speaking, on a typical week?
3 to 4 times, because we do CrossFit, and that's where the magic is in those intensity. I would love to do more for time workouts, because I think that's where true intensity lies, and I think that's where you can truly unlock fitness. And if you look back at classic CrossFit, that's where there is more 3 rounds for time, 150 reps for time, those kind of things. In an affiliate setting, I get more control of my class by doing set time, so time duration workouts, AMRAPs, things like that. It's a challenge that I'm working with the team to upskill them so that they can do a 4-time workout and have 20 people finish within 60 to 90 seconds of each other. But that's just an upskilling process we're going through at the moment.
Do you know what? Really interesting. I had a conversation the other day, and it was around Fran. So, like you said, they're for times. You think of Jackie, Fran, Helen, like those classic girl wads. Typically, they were for time. And there was a really good reason for that. And there's a reason they haunt. They're at the back of your head every time. Like you look at the program, hoping it's not Fran, and then every twice a year it is, and that's when you don't come in. But that intensity, we were talking about Fran the other day, and scaling Fran to hit the stimulus across the board of 20 different members at 20 different points of progress or experience levels. I truly don't think people understand what an art and the experience level that has to go into making sure that Fran is the same or of a similar stimulus across the board for 20 different people using 20 completely different skill sets and experiences. If you get a coach that can do that, you know you have got a very, very experienced, very laterally thinking coach that can think about 20 different people's requirements and adaptivities. Now, the other thing and what we came round to on this, the reason being, someone said about, I said I don't butterfly anymore because it's just not in my skill set anymore. I don't like doing it. Does that hold me back during the open? Yeah. I don't rank as high during the open because I don't do butterfly, because I've had labral issues in the past. And for my own benefit, I choose not to do it. Yes, it means that I'm not going to be as high up in the rankings in the Open. But for me, that's not why I do the Open. I do it for the challenge. I do it for the intensity, for the community, and the apprehension and the buzz that I get out of it. I love doing the Open. This is my 14th one this year. But we were talking about someone that would have like strict pull-ups rather than kipping. And they can't necessarily do 21 unbroken. How would you manage that? I got asked the question, how would you manage that to get them to hit the same stimulus as they would with someone that's doing butterfly? And there was a few different answers, but anyway, that was the question that kind of brought on this kind of thought process of that. And again, reining it back into the Open, that is completely out of control of the coaches. It goes, here you go, member. And herein lies the point. The Open is an incredible tool for affiliate owners to see how well their coaching and their programming and their adaptations throughout the rest of the year have worked for the individuals around those 2 or 3 workouts, where they choose one if they're going RX, but 2, we kind of give people a license to do RX, don't we, in the Open? So making those better decisions, gauging the intensity, the sets, instead of doing 21, I'm trying to get to 21 unbroken, do they take the time to think, all right, I'm going to break this down. I'm going to do 8, 7, 6, whatever. It's a really cool concept. And yeah, those 3 weeks are different time to be an affiliate owner.
Yeah, 100%. I think you can't necessarily compare Friday Night Lights to a normal class. I think they are. The CrossFit is an event, and it is. We're doing a competitive event. It's very different to Tuesday 7 a.m. or 9:30 a.m. class. But I think that's where it lies some of the magic. Like, I know I can cast my mind back to last year, and there was at least 10 or 12 people that got their first bar muscle up last year, because it mattered that a little bit more than it does on a Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah.
And that's part of the magic. And whether that's a bar muscle up, a pull up, a double under, like a lift, whatever it might be, that's where some of that magic lies, in taking someone who might not necessarily do a competition because they don't want to take themselves off to that sort of event or something like that, but they get the opportunity to do it in the Open. Like, I've got my in-laws doing this Open, 66 and 64. If I've got that wrong, hopefully they won't tell me off. My wife's doing it, 37 weeks pregnant on Friday. Yeah. One of my new coaches, Chris, he's got one leg. He's doing the Open. Like, they never would, none of those people would go off and compete in an event, but they get the opportunity to compete for 3 weeks in a row on a worldwide leaderboard.
It's mad, isn't it? Like the accessibility. We talk about accessibility with CrossFit and sports and everything like that, but like $20 and you're in for a competition in the safety. I say safety in the safety of your own gym, around your people that you train with all year round, the coaches that you enjoy being coached by. It's just a really cool time. And again, that feeds into the point earlier. The gyms with that really high uptake for the Open, I think that's indicative of the relationship between the affiliate owner and the members. I think it demonstrates that.
Yeah, a successful Open campaign falls on the shoulders of the leader of that gym. I don't know. There are no examples that spring to my mind of a gym who's got high signups. And I'm talking the high signups in terms of percentage of members. Like, if you've got 40 signups, but you've got 50 members, that's awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
We're sorting that out this week. That's completely throwing my train of thought. But yes, sorry, it resides on the shoulders of the leader. And like I said earlier, that leader needs to be, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, doing classes, doing CrossFit, leading from the front, doing the Open. Like, every year we have this argument amongst the staff whether we should do the Open workout during the day so we can be on the floor on Friday night, or should we do it in a heat on a Friday night? And every year people are like, oh, when you're doing the workout, we want to watch you do the work. Like they want to watch us suffer with them. So every year we do it and they love it. It's great fun. We turf it over to the members to run the floor for our heat. They have a great time.
Yeah. Yes. I was talking to one of my clients the other week. He works in software engineering and he's quite high up in this company. And his employees don't know, or his staff don't know it. But every now and again, he will take on a task and send it to them. So he'll do a whole stack of coding in a totally new way to push boundaries, and it's way above my head. And he'll send it to his staff and say, can you review this for me? But he knows it won't be perfect. He knows there'll be gaps in it. He knows that it won't be good. And he gives them almost license to tear him a new one and say, oh, we found this is wrong. And he does it intentionally each year so that his staff feel like they have some kind of connection, that one, it demonstrates that he's willing to be vulnerable and be wrong, but try new stuff. But two, it's kind of like this feedback loop is connected rather than him being up here and then being down here. It's like, I'm willing to be involved and wrong. And they're giving him some back and saying, oh, this is terrible work, that kind of thing. And I think it taps into that similar thing for the affiliate owner. If you're not willing to show vulnerability and to show that you can get messed up as well by doing these workouts, you're sort of missing the point of the open, aren't you? Like, it's a leveler. It's the great leveler. And it's really cool to see you flat on the floor alongside Marie, the Donna and John, like all four of you on the floor next to each other, like gasping for air, and all the judges stood there laughing with their clocks in their hands, and all the other people like laughing and pointing and taking photos. That's what it's all about. Yeah, shared suffering. That's really cool, and it's the essence of the open for me. Rather than hiding away, and like I used to fall into the trap of doing that when I was at the affiliate. When it was 2 a.m, I would go in. I would mistakenly look at my phone at like 2, and then I'd be wide awake for a few hours. I'd drive to the gym, get the gym taped up, set up, ready for the 6 a.m. class, take the 6 a.m, and then I'd do the workout on my own in the gym, videoed it and done it so that I could say that I've done it and then be able to coach it. But again, I learned very early on, I completely missed the fucking point. And I get why I did it, but I completely missed the point, and I missed the one and done. Once I've done it, I'm not doing it again. So I'd get it done on the Friday morning at like 7:30 and then forget about it, but coach it. But I get why people do things differently at their gyms, but at least do it, at least participate in that. But yeah, we're all good there. So talked about the fact that you coached this morning. I want to get onto a little bit of like kind of coaching for a little bit around the open. You coached a couple of hours this morning, and you said any more than that and you start to feel burned out, and you're up here and you start to make mistakes. You don't spot the flaws, you don't cue well, you're needing coffee and energy, that kind of thing. Do you think for one reason or another affiliates have slipped into the trap of kind of giving coaches more hours connected like that? Obviously there's reasons, there's monetary, there's lack of access to coaches, there's those kind of things. Chris Cooper talked about this quite a lot at Coaches Congress, about finding a way to avoid that burnout, to keep fresh and the staffing. There's no easy way, but what would the first steps be? If I'm an affiliate owner and I've found myself having to coach every hour under the sun, what would your first sort of bit of advice to me if I'm feeling like where do I go? How do I recruit new coaches? How do I go about kind of offsetting some of that burnout that I feel like I'm cornered with? Because that will be the case for some people, won't it?
Yeah, 100%. I think if you're an affiliate owner and you're still very much working in the business, so you're coaching every class, you don't have much time to work on the business. So working on marketing, chasing leads, calling back old members, things like that. The first place I'd recommend looking is internally. I do believe internal hires are better than external hires when you need someone quickly. So we spoke about sort of the different interning processes we had in the one that me and Andy did last week. But if you find someone inside your gym, they're already going to know your style, your flavor of CrossFit, because every affiliate has a slightly different flavor. It's the beauty of it. They're going to know your ethos. They're going to know your clientele. And it's usually easier to teach someone who's been involved than it is to bring someone external and try and ramp them up with everything. I'd also always encourage people, don't worry about their technical ability at the start, because there's lots of places and lots of ways of teaching people how to teach a squat. Find someone that gives a shit and they're passionate about it, because you can't teach that. You can't teach someone who doesn't care to care. It's almost impossible. Once you find that person or you identify that person, just have a conversation with them. Like, hey, have you ever thought about stepping on the other side of things and seeing if they like it? I'm always very respectful if I ever approach a member with that conversation about what they have in their life and whether because 9 times out of 10 people will be like, oh my God, I'd love to be a coach. I'd love to put a red shirt on. That'd be so cool. But it's not always the right thing to do to that person, because it could be that they come to the gym as their place to switch off and mellow out and relax. It could be their escape from stresses that you don't know about. So I'm always very careful when I approach that person internally. That is where I would start. If you're in a situation where you do need someone fast and you just need to bring someone in to cover some hours, there are like temporary coaches listed on the CrossFit UK link tree. So that might be someone in your local area that's just looking for a few more hours. I'd still want some form of interning process with that person before I'd put them in front of the floor. I suppose it varies on the degree of desperation of getting some help in. But I strongly feel that finding the right person with the right attitude is more important than, oh, I've got 17 coaching badges and I know all this stuff and I can spot a flaw from a mile off, but I don't care about the members. It's one of our steps, our hiring steps, our interview steps that I've done for years is I'll always get a potential coach, someone who's hiring or applying for a role, whether they're a member or a non-member. I'll always get them to come for their interview at 10 to 5, 10 to 6. Our classes change on the hour. And I'll always get them to come in. I've done it so often, this isn't a trade secret, but I'll always get them to come in and then I'll make some excuse. I'll be like, oh, Jake, I'm really sorry, mate. I've just got to go and finish a phone call with a member. You're all right hanging out here for a minute. And I'll leave them in our members area and I'll go into the office and I'll watch them on the cameras. And if they're interacting with members as they come and go, then sweet, we're on to a winner. If they sit their head down on their phone, like, okay, cool. They're not willing to have a conversation with someone or branch out. That's always step one of our interview process here.
Yeah. Awesome. Great idea. And I think the internal recruitment thing's great. I think the best coaches that I've seen have certainly come that way. And like you said, there's conversations to be had, but those aside, I think you're better off recruiting internally. We had a thing where I had 2 gyms, 2 affiliates within sort of 1.5 miles of each other. So we captured like the audience around Windsor and Eton area. But then we had the likes of CrossFit Slough, CrossFit Maidenhead, there was Langley, there was Bracknell, Camberley, Ascot. We had about 10 affiliates within like a kind of like a 6-mile radius of each other. But although we weren't like in each other's pockets, what we did have was this sort of like understanding that if I was short of coaching and I was desperate for coaching, I wouldn't feel bad about reaching out to one of the other gyms and saying, hey guys, have you got anyone that needs a couple of extra hours a week, to come over and coach, that kind of thing. And I think leaning, and that what I've seen recently is this really cool shift away from seeing as other gyms as competition to one of us. Especially from the gyms that I know and I speak to, there's a real kind of like bonding that's going on at the moment under the banner of CrossFit. We are CrossFit against everyone else, whereas in the last sort of 5-6 years it's been CrossFit against CrossFit against CrossFit against CrossFit affiliates. It's all like, right, we're CrossFit and we're against the other lot now. Like we're kind of banding together again, which is really cool. And that idea about sharing coaching and ideas and that kind of thing, it's a nice kind of demonstration of where we're at in the country, which is cool.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why we do those roundtables, and they're more location based. But we've also done some more of those like localized gatherings. So last year we went out to Ireland. This year we're going to go to Scotland. I've done a Midlands one a couple of times. And it's just trying to connect like local gym owners together more. And they're not the enemy. The couch is the enemy. McDonald's is the enemy. Fast food's the enemy. We want to try and lean on each other as much as possible, and sharing coaches when you need to is a perfect example, because it gets the affiliate owner a little bit of respite, but it also gets that coach some more hours and potentially some exposure to, like, if I walked into another affiliate, it's going to be harder than coaching at my affiliate. So it gives me some development. 100%. I think there's an affiliate local to us that opened up this year, and I was chatting to the owner the other day, and we chat quite a lot. We're local, obviously, with the CrossFit UK hat on as well. And then he's like, oh man, like I missed, I think it was his daughter's birthday because a coach phoned in sick.
Right.
I was like, dude, like, just don't do that again. Call me. Like, I can come and coach a couple of hours for you so you can celebrate your daughter's birthday. Like,
yeah.
Especially if you're in a position where your affiliates at a place where you've got procedures and opening and closing procedures and things like that. Lean on each other, because we're all fighting the same enemy, and the enemy's not the box down the road. It's let's not get too deep into the weeds, but it's the gyms that take money for people and get them to sit on a seated bike for an hour and go, nice workout, well done.
Funny, I coach at the like the National Sports Centre here on the island, where it's like different groups. So it's like a over 60s powerlifting group that I take, and over the last 3 years I've kind of injected some elements of what I love, like CrossFit, and like elements of that, and even things like thumbs forward on press, like whenever you're on your hands on the press ups, thumbs forward. So instead of that rotation with the shoulder. And a woman said to me the other day, how do you know this kind of thing? Aren't you a powerlifting coach? I said, well, if you want to learn more about gymnastics and body positioning and intensity, here's my number. We're at the gym up the road, and you can learn all about this in a fun and exotic way. And she's come for a taster session this week. So it's not obvious recruitment, but we can demonstrate our prowess in coaching everywhere else. We don't need to sell it to other CrossFitters. We've already done that. Like they're already engaged. So there isn't competition with other CrossFit gyms, because they know what they're getting with CrossFit. It's externally out of that. And Hannah said it really well the other day. She dropped in a few years ago. She dropped into a gym locally, and there was like this competition running. You know, like you go to, I mean, every David Lloyd's doing it now, probably, allegedly. My lawyers have told me to say. There'll be like a whiteboard on a stand, and it will say, this week's competition, it'll be AMRAP, and he's like, oh, where have I heard that before? Or EMOM, or it'll be like 500 meters for time, quickest times, all those kind of little competitions inside the gyms. And the guy running the gym on the day, the instructor or the coach on the floor said, oh, you're not allowed to take part because you'll beat everyone. And she was reminded, like, she doesn't consider herself an elite athlete in the CrossFit world, but in comparison to everyday gym goers, she is absolutely elite. She wasn't allowed to compete against them because they know she would crush everyone in there. And you forget what we have at our gyms because you are constantly surrounded by people that are our level. Like we're up here compared to regular people. And therein lies a stumbling block for me. And this is something that I'm kind of exploring at the moment through different channels and in real life as well, not just on here. Is how do we recruit those people into what we do, maintaining the reputation that we have of being elite and being super fit and you know, holding people to account and to a high standard, but also not coming across as being like brutally different to everyone else. Like, how do we draw people into that? How do we make that appealing to people? Like, here's what you can do. Here's what you can do with real hard work. You can be like us, but at the same time, showing others people that look like them. Do you know what I mean? Like, we need to make it like, it's like your like Second City Instagram account is a perfect example of where you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. It's with the goal that came out a couple of years ago, a CrossFitter every dinner table, right? That's the dream, that's the goal, right? I think if you're an affiliate, look at your marketing that's going out. So we actively try to avoid putting our coaches or our members that have got 20 abs on our social media, because it's hard for people to connect to that. It's hard for people to go, I look like this, I want to look like that, but that's so far away from me. I don't know how to achieve it. So make it so that your social media is representative to the population you're looking to attract. If you want older people coming to your gym, advertise with older people. If you want younger people, advertise with younger people. It's a really interesting conversation, because time and time again, people will ask me about marketing companies, paid ads, and things like that. They have a place. We've never had success with them at my affiliate. Now, it could be because I sit there and go, oh, I don't think they work. But I strongly believe the best marketing campaign you can do is use your existing members and make your product so good that they can't not tell their friends and family about it. And people have said to me, because we will run a bring a friend every month, we run a community CrossFit every 2 weeks. In my like class closing, they're like, right, bring friends rolling around on Saturday, get all your friends and family down. And people kind of look at me and I'm like, well, do you not want them to be fit and healthy? Do you not care enough about them to make them less sedentary and maybe lose a little bit of weight? So I think for affiliate owners, look at your marketing that's going out to people, and maybe just look at it through the lens of the market you're trying to attract. And then encourage your members to suggest their friends and family, like referral systems, bring a friends, community CrossFit, things like that, to help bring more people into it. Because the more people we bring in, the more people we'll have to bring other people in. And grow that way.
It's self-fulfilling. And hopefully you get to a point where you have to say there's a wait list. Every affiliate owner's dream, in some respects. So I want to bring this back round to kind of you connecting the two dots there for me, the open and recruitment. The open is an insane recruitment tool. Having lanes, and we had a discussion at our gym about how to run the open, and like over the years there's been this kind of like not at the gym I'm at, but over the years what I've seen it is the elite want to do theirs later on in the day, or away from Gem Pop, away from John that normally has to do banded pull-ups or whatever it is. They want to do it on their own because they feel like they're not going to get the intensity. They're not going to get that. They want to be around other people that are like them. For me, if I'm an affiliate owner, of course, I'm not going to say, no, you can't pick and choose what time slot you come and do the open. But for me as an affiliate owner, the whole bloody purpose of the open, not the quarters and the stages after that, the open is all of our affiliate all doing it together. So imagine, it's a beautiful thing to imagine where you've got, like, let's say 5 lanes laid out, and you've got the mum that's just come back from pregnancy in lane 1, and she's 6 months after, and she's signed up for the open because she wants to give it a go and see where she's at. You've got 67-year-old Clive that started CrossFit a year ago and wants to give it the open because he's been told it's going to be amazing. Then you've got John in the middle lane, who is a 25-year-old stud that's trying to get to semi-finals. And then you've got, I don't know, Amy Kringle, who's a games athlete, in the lane next to them. And then you've got another, Mohammed in lane 5, who's been doing CrossFit 5 years and has just done the open every year because he loves it and he's going to get one muscle up. That picture, that scene is like a Rembrandt picture when everyone's working out together. It's slow motion. The video, the footage you can get as an affiliate owner, the optics of that. And, you know, like Claire, I've got a lady who's in a wheelchair user. She's doing the open. Her in one of the lanes. You've got this imagery of like everyone in it togetherness, doing the same thing at the same time. That is what CrossFit is all about.
Yeah.
That is CrossFit in one picture. And to not use this as a recruitment tool for the rest of the year. And you know, affiliate owners have still got time. If you haven't already thought about this, if you haven't already set this up, all you need is a camera. All you need is to not be participating in one of those heats, to stand back and think about the planning of the heats. I know it sounds silly, and some people will want to go in the lane next to their mate. They will. But other people like me, I will not be in the same heat as my wife. I cannot stand working out near her anymore because she just got so much better than me, and I didn't want to be next to her. She can't judge me. Well, she can, but not in CrossFit. But anyway, have you got one, I know there's 1,000 things we talked about. Have you got one final kind of line or tip or a bit of advice from your affiliate owners, experienced affiliate owners hat for affiliate owners towards this open?
That's a great question. And it's the same piece of advice that a very close friend gave me recently about my expected child coming. Remember, it's fun. The open is supposed to be fun. All right. Like for 0.0000001% of people, it matters because it's their career. They are professional CrossFitters. It's what they go to work to do. The open is Friday afternoon at work for them. For everybody else, it is fun. And remember, it's fun.
Perfect. Gareth, thank you very much. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you as always.
I can't wait to see how we go this week. Hopefully we'll be able to catch up at some point next week and have a chat about how it went for you as an affiliate owner with Point One, and how it went as an athlete for Point One, and how as a CrossFit HQ staff, how it went for Point One. But yeah, thanks for coming.
There's a little HQ intramural open, so we all get to go against each other as well. So I'll let you know who's leading that leaderboard as well.
Amazing. Can't wait to see that. Nice, Gareth. Thank you very much.
Thank you, mate.
Watch you guys. Thank you very much. See you soon.